Yes. All right. Now it's ready. Good morning, everybody. I want to apologize, obviously, about this delay. Very ironic joke of the day is a tech event with technical issues. Unfortunately, we've had a last-minute mishap with the screen, so we're going to have to make do with a micro one. So I encourage everybody to come closer to the stage. There's a lot of empty spots up front. And then hopefully during lunch, we'll knock out this big useless one in the back and drop down the screen for you guys. So with that said, I just want to say thank you guys for joining on the last day before I leave. I know this is it's very nice to see a lot of familiar faces. Most of you are colleagues or friends, some of you are even family members, I guess. I'd like to say that we did make some bets as to how many people will actually stick around past lunch. So if you're not sticking around, let me know because I think I might make some money on it. I do want to also thank people who flew in here. We have people who joined in from the UAE, from Egypt, even from Hungary. We have a couple of guests of honor and VPs. It's a great gathering today. I think this is super rewarding for me, both personally and professionally. I don't know if any of you know this, but Site4 community in the Middle East and Africa was very much born out of Jordan. Back in 2008, I would say, when we first set up shop here. So Jordan has one of the biggest dev communities in our region. And we've been doing SUGMEA for quite a few years now. This is the first time we pull it out of Dubai, and it really felt right for it to be in Jordan. So I'm really, really happy that this is where it is this year, and that everybody here was able to get a voice without flying and get a ticket to Dubai and all that jazz. Our theme today is, and before I actually go into the theme, I'd like to say that we do have an interesting combination in the audience. We have different people from different backgrounds. We have very experienced people in Site4 who are kind of leaders in our Site4 community, but we also have people who are absolutely new to the community, who are very interested in what Site4 has to offer. Their different businesses, their different organizations, and so I really want to kind of ask for patience from the two groups as I try to cater my message to both crowds. So that said, the theme today, as per our agenda, is we want to talk about this new composable Site4 world. Site4, back in the day, was very warmly called the CMS, eventually graduated into what we call a digital experience platform. Was very much packaged as a one-stop shop solution. And in a way, it was very effective because you only needed to invest in one thing, and you're able to kind of cover most of your bases, if not all. But it is the type of thing that would require a full-fledged digital transformation within your organization. So there was a lot of uprooting, there was a lot of kind of costs and time associated with it. It's not the fastest move to make, but it's definitely a worthy investment with a lot of ROI. Over the last couple of years, a few things happened that kind of shifted our market and the way we think about technology a little bit, especially in the Site4 world. And I think these shifts were very welcome, and most importantly, they were timely. I don't know if you guys heard, but there's been a lot of studies that were published about the impact of COVID on our region. Roughly the demand and the progress that happened in the last 2+ years since COVID in the digital transformation world in our region is equivalent to what they expected an entire decade of work to do. So that's talking about kind of squeezing 10 years of digital progress into just 1 or 2 years. That said, obviously, we didn't graduate 10 cohorts of developers and technical people and all the right talent to meet that kind of demand. And so technology being kind of the shortcut solution became very, very crucial. And bringing in a composable proposition rather than a one-stop shop approach became much more attractive for people who needed to quickly adjust their businesses to address the current needs. Customers are not going to wait for you guys 5 years to catch up to their needs during COVID. You know, people needed to move quite fast. So the difference between going and investing into a one-stop shop solution versus being able to plug and play and pick and choose, kind of like a Tetris, became much more appealing because people didn't have time to revolutionize their entire company and go into a years and years long project. Some of them didn't have the budget during the tough time during COVID and just wanted to invest in the component that really matters to their business. And at the same time, it was definitely easier to adopt as a technology that they may have not been used to. So it was faster, in some ways cheaper, and more effective. And with that said, I'd like to say, obviously, no technology is perfect, and the point of this event is not to just advertise Sitecore as a product. We do have some of the best in the Sitecore tech world in this room, and I really do want to have a very open chat about what we can bring to the table in terms of value for people who are technical and who are interested in the journey of composable world in Sitecore, as well as potential customers who want to learn what they should do and what's the best approach for their specific case, because no company or person or organization is going to have an exact replica of one another's journeys. Each kind of person and company comes with a different background, sits at a different digital maturity level, and so kind of what solution works for you then is going to be very much a custom conversation. But we're lucky to have, like I said, some of the best in the entire region of the Sitecore world. So I definitely highly encourage that you guys rub some shoulders and ask some questions and have some very honest conversations about where your business currently stands and where it needs to go and how Sitecore can come in and help that. With that said, I obviously expect all my super talented tech people in the room to also be honest in setting the right realistic expectations. It is a journey. Products are not made overnight. Nothing comes out of the box ready to go, but with the right integration work, with the right support, and with the right technical expertise, each and every one of you can kind of be set on the right path towards a very successful digital transformation.
It does really.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Morning.
Yeah.
Thank you at the back. It's been a very nice morning. So, just a quick introduction. My name is Nitish Verma. I joined Sitecore like 2 months ago, so fairly new to the ecosystem. But coming to this event has been extremely humbling, and it's been a pure honor just to talk to all of you guys here. The passion that you guys bring, the conversations, and the level at which you operate it's just amazing, right? A little bit of background about me. So I've always been in the partners and alliance systems domain. I've been in the region for about 16 years. I came to Dubai in 2006. I like to tell people that I'm older than the Burj Khalifa, in Dubai. And all of my professional experience has been in Dubai, right? So I've worked for companies like Dell, most recently Red Hat, all focused on channel, on sales, on the region, understanding how the market functions and all that. So obviously joining Sitecore has been a very new experience. I haven't really done a lot in the market field, but hearing from you guys, listening to you guys, learning from you guys, has been an absolute pleasure. And one of the big responsibilities I have in my role is to make sure that we are developing our communities correctly, right? So we're focusing with our partners, we're focusing on the skills in the region, and we're focusing on how the community really interacts with each other, right? Sitecore has great ambitions and aspirations, but in order for us to really be able to grow, we're here for the long run, right? We need to build this community ground up. We need to be able to not just close projects, but be able to support them. And this is exactly where everyone needs to come, right? So if I haven't really spoken to you yet, I would love to speak to you. If you have questions, please let me know. I'd love to answer them. I'd love to meet you after my talk during the break. We're already running a little late, so I know Sean is not going to be very happy if we go out of the room, but maybe during lunchtime we will come back and meet each other, right? So usually when I go and do presentations, I start off with something like this, right? Really starting to talk about Sitecore, talk about what our strategy is, what's really this digital experience platform that we're trying to build. And as I was preparing for this presentation, I asked who we going to be presented with, who am I going to be on stage with. I was told the full community, the MVPs, and all these certified people. And my first response was, oh great, I'm going to present Sitecore to a bunch of people who know Sitecore better than I do, right? So yeah, that kind of got scrapped, and I had to look into really what I wanted to talk about today. So I wanted to move to a topic which is much more closer to my heart, which is probably the theme of this event as well, Composable DXP, right? What is a Composable DXP? We talk about it a lot. We say it's the buzz of the market. We use it in things. But what does it do? What is it? In simple terms, we define it as a group of best-of-breed products that are stitched together and work as one, right? But over the course of the next few slides, I'm going to talk about why this is the future, why this is something that everyone is adopting, and why there is such a big buzz about it, right? Why are we all saying composable is the future? So let's do a quick startup with what analysts are saying, right? Because when we start talking about any new technology and new solution, the first thing everyone looks at is what are the partners and the IDPs are talking about. So this is a quote that came out from Gartner a little over a year back. Right? It says, by 2023, 60% of organizations will see composability with new application investments. So they obviously saw what we saw 18 months ago. And if you look at the date, we're about 6 months away from 2023, right? So we're already seeing this in action. We're seeing the people moving in this direction. We're seeing that composability is the solution of the future, right? Why is it the solution of the future? There's another quote from Gartner, because it allows organizations to deliver 80% faster, right? We live in an incredibly digital world. Every single organization on this planet is moving to a digital footprint. Could you imagine 10 years ago that you would be booking taxis on your phone? Could you imagine that you would be ordering groceries on your phone? Could you imagine that you would be paying your utility bills on your phone? And today, can you imagine not doing it on your phone? Right? I remember I once got into a taxi and just sat there, and the person looked at me like, "What do you want?" I was so used to ordering it on my phone, I forgot that now in the old days, you have to sit and you have to tell where you're going and you have to give directions and all that. We're changing into an incredibly digital world, and every organization is under pressure to form a digital footprint. And that's where they need to do it faster, they need solutions that are more agile. There's a bunch of things, a bunch of requirements that come into play. But at the same budget that they had 10 years ago. None of that changes, but it's still going to go up, right? So obviously the IT landscape or the technology has to innovate, and that's exactly what Composability is doing to the market. This is probably the most technical slide I have, so bear with me 5 minutes on this thing. Let's do a quick roundup, right? This is what the DXP platform used to look like. It used to have all the features that we talked about today as a composable stack, but it used to be one big monolithic application. So what used to happen was the features used to be there, but organizations had to work around the technology. You had to change your processes around the technology. You had to change your budgets around how much the technology costs. You have to change really how you operate as a whole. Right? Because I could love a CMS from one vendor, but their customer data platform could not have the features that I need. But this is what I have to build. Right? The login, the proprietary technology needs to go to work. Coming in comes composability. All the features that you used to have are already there, but you get a better buck out of your investment. You won't be investing in CMS from a different company, an income cycle with the most amazing CDP platform. You no longer need to say, "Oh, I have to get rid of the investment that I had." We make sure that you get value out of your current investments, but get the best out of the new investments that you're planning to make. So your strategy does not change. Your investment does not change. Nothing changes, everything works around what you're already doing. That's basically the beauty of composability. If anyone of you guys think that I got this wrong, please let me know. Because you know this better than I do, but we need to talk about this. We need to understand. The more people who hear it, the better it is. Right? We need to see that this is how we get to as working as part of the community. Why is it? What's in it for the people we're talking to? There's something in it for business. There's something in it for developers. It's a win-win, right? All business cares about cost of time to value, marketing, low latency, low ROI, all of that stuff. If you look here, when it comes to developers, we're openly saying when you take a product from us, and then you will go to one of our competitors. When you take a product from us, and then you will go to one of our competitors, it's perfectly fine. Because that's the world we live in. We want to work well as a community. We want what's best for our customers rather than what's best for us. And that's really the message that we're trying to put out. If you think we're the best at something, take us. We don't think we're the best at something. We work well with all of our competitors. We have standardized API-based connectors with headless solution, perfectly fine. We work with any solution that we provide. That's the beauty of composability today. Very quickly, just touching upon the Cycle solution. And I promise this is one more slide is going to be very quick. focus. We currently focus on three main domains, from content to experience to forms. These forms are end-to-end digital experience platform that we provide today. Within these three domains, we have 9 main solutions. Each solution works closer together with each other. But at the same time, each solution works well with any other solution that our customers might have. And that's the beauty of it. We care more about providing an end-to-end digital experience platform to our customers. And we want to make sure that if a certain piece of the puzzle is already there, we feel that the remaining part, we don't get rid of it. So, today, if you look at the stack, you have everything there. You want to go on-premise, that's available. You want to go SaaS, that's available. You want to fit any platform, any existing solution, that's available. You want to look at the end-to-end DXP, that's available. But the most important thing that covers all of it is you guys. So, the community is what's all of these solutions. It is all together. There is the simplicity, there is the experience for us. Right? And that's basically what we're trying to get to. So, without much delay, let's go get the composable market out there. That's what I wanted to cover today. And thank you for giving me the time and hearing me out and listening about the strategies that we have going forward. And in case anyone has any questions, I'd like to answer them now. And in case you'd like to meet me later, I would love to get your perspective and understand what you're doing, how you can work there. Yeah, thank you. So we now have relations. Technically, the horizontal is going to be coming.
See, composable DXP Thank you, Nilesh. I was just worried that if you are going to discuss everything about composable, what will I do? Because I have similar presentation, but yeah, I will not make it. Right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to yet another fantastic SUGMEA event, and this time in beautiful Jordan. This is my first time in Jordan, and the people who are coming from Dubai have the first recommend that you guys have nice nature and nice climate, which we are missing in Dubai. All right, so my today's session is about composable DXP. Maybe just already clear what is composable DXP from business perspective and why people are talking about it. In this talk, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear a couple of doubts, because when you hear the composable DXP, you say, come on, we have already invested, as we say, in monolithic environment, which is a traditional site code. Then how the composable DXP? What is it exactly? Why it is coming all of a sudden? So many questions that you might have. And before we start, I know that you know this slide already. This was there for a couple of minutes. So let me introduce myself. I'm Nilesh. I'm working as a pre-sales solution architect at Horizontal. And I was not only site code MVP, but also site site code. So I used to work with the site code company itself in Dubai office. And now working with Horizontal as a pre-sales solution. All right, so let's get started. As I said, most of you might have a question. What is DXP? What is composable DXP? Why I'm listening about it now, right now? Why all of a sudden it comes into the picture? What is the difference between the traditional CMS that you have already? All of these questions I will try to answer during this my session. And we can also make this session interactive. If you have any question, we can definitely discuss either during the session or later on. So there are main 2 reasons that we are discussing composable DXP today. The first one is industry is changing. If the industry is changing, we have to adopt the change at some moment. If we don't adopt the change, it may impact on our business. Recall the Nokia story. I think most of you know the Nokia, right? They didn't accept the industry change, and today you are know where are they. So that's why we are talking about composable DXP. We have to accept the industry change. We have to prepare for the industry change. And that's the second reason, that we have to align our business goal with Sideco's roadmap. We have to understand what is the Sideco's composable portfolio, what is the Sideco's roadmap, and we have to also align accordingly. So, to understand it better, let me give you one example. Let's flashback. Everyone can easily relate this story. So, if you observe this Gartner report, you will see that in 2000, when there was a .com era, okay, everyone wanted to do the website. Every business wanted a web existence. Later, in 2010, the mobile era came, as it is mentioned earlier. Before 10 years, you didn't imagine that you are going to do all of these things on the mobile. The user experience changed. Users shifted from web to the mobile. Everyone wanted to have a business access on mobile. Okay, the industry changed. In 2020, again, the industry changed. Now the user have two options, mobile and web. They may start the journey on mobile and end on web, and vice versa. Let's say you are sitting on the couch and you say, okay, I want to buy something. You start on your mobile and then you drop your mind. Then you go back to your desktop and then you finish shopping over there. So it requires a multi-experience. So this is how the trend changed. Now let's try to understand when this industry was changing, how the underlying DXP, how the underlying experience platform also changed. So taking the same example, in 2000 when there was a .com era, everyone wanted a website. So there was a huge demand of a platform which can help you to spin up the website easily and manage the content. And that's how the CMS comes into the picture. Later, after one decade, as I said earlier, that there was a demand that there should be a platform which not only serve the content, but also understand the user's analytics behavior. And that's why the second version of CMS, which is nothing but web experience management, comes into the picture. Later, in early 2020, if you relate to the previous the diagram that I mentioned, multi-experience, user's experience change, user start the journey on mobile or on web and multiple experience. At that time, there was a demand that there must be a kind of a platform which gives seamless experience to the user across multiple channels, because your business has multiple channels. It may be on website, mobile, POS, anywhere. And you need a platform which can give this multi-experience. And that's how the DXP comes into the picture. So we are aligned with this industry change. Now, the future is the DXP has two options right now. One, that today we are using the monolithic, which is a traditional platform, and the future is composable. That's what Nitish also mentioned earlier, but I will try to elaborate it more. So let's understand what exactly is composable and how does it differ from the monolithic. So if I take 5 parameters, which are most important parameters, and I think that you can see it in case if you can just ask me if anyone is not clear. So the first one is customization. In traditional platforms, since everything is in a single software, a large unit, it's very hard to customize. On the other hand, in composable, it's an API-based approach, so you can easily customize as per your business need. Every business has a different requirement. There's no one solution fits all. Okay, every business has a unique requirement, and that's why the composable comes into the picture. Second one is scalability. Unfortunately, the traditional platform that we have today is not scalable, easily scalable, and that's why the composable are heavily on the SaaS base. That's why they are easily scalable. The next one is cost effectivity. I'm sure that you will agree with this point easily. I did not to convince you much because it's Cypress traditional platform. Even though if you don't want to use some feature, you have to pay for complete. Say for example, Cypress XP. Most of clients want to use the CMS part, but they are paying for complete XP. While that is not the case in the composable. In the composable, you can just grab the piece of the feature that you want and just pay for it. Upgrade. If you are a technical guy or if you work with technical team, they can easily understand the pain of upgrade. It's very tough to upgrade a monolithic solution. It requires efforts, time, and cost, everything. While in the composable, you you need not to worry. You relax because the upgrade will be taken care by your vendor, and you need not to put your efforts over there. The last but not least, failure management. In traditional, since as I said, everything is under one single large software, so they are very tightly covered. If one component broke, it will bring down your company's system. While in the composable, it will not. If I would like to give an example inside your traditional portfolio, if the X Connect, which is for analytics and personalization, if it is not get down, it may bring down your website. While in the composable, if the personalized the component or CDP will go down, it will not impact on your website. So that's the difference between the composable and monolithic or traditional DXP. Now, this slide you already saw in the last session, little bit different. So I would say this is today versus tomorrow. Today we are using this monolithic DXP, which is everything under one large unit, and the future is that instead of relying on the single unit, you have to make sure that you craft your solution in a composable way. You craft based on your requirement. You may just adopt the content from, let's say, content part from one vendor and the personalization from other vendor. No need to have a single portfolio from one vendor. You can take advantage of your existing investment as well. Same thing that mentioned by Nilesh earlier. So, I also would like to share one quote from Gartner, which says that application leaders cannot achieve the market requirement by current monolithic or traditional solution. At some point, you have to adopt composable DXP. Now, in order to understand or in order to craft your composable DXP, first of all, you have to understand what DXP offers. Most of the DXP in the market offers major four things: content, experience, commerce, and delivery. Now, for your business, you will need only content. For your business, only need content and experience. You are not dealing with commerce right now, but in your future path for commerce, or your currently your business may need content and commerce. It can be any combination. So why to go with a monolithic? Why to invest for complete single software? You just buy whatever you want. And if you look at the Sitecore's current or today's traditional portfolio, which is offering different SKUs for all those four features. So we have today Sitecore XM for content, Sitecore XP for experience platform, XC for commerce, and we are using SXAJSS and Azure AWS for delivery. Now, in order to plan to shift your Sitecore's traditional portfolio to the composable portfolio, you have to first understand what Sitecore offers in the world of composable DXP. So, as mentioned earlier, all the SKUs given by Sitecore right now are on PaaS based, and you have to, in order to make the composable solution or craft it, you have to slightly move away from PaaS to SaaS based solution. So Sitecore has now offering in the content is the Sitecore Experience Manage, which is XM on Cloud, Sitecore Symphony, and the Sitecore Content Hub, which is nothing but a TAM. For experience, Sitecore provides Sitecore CDP. If you don't want a complete CDP, you have a lighter version, which is called Sitecore Personalized. Then there is Sitecore Search and Sitecore Send. For commerce, then it is a order cloud, and every commerce has a basic requirement is a search, which is a Sitecore Discovery. And the last but not least is, in order to deliver a seamless solution, Sitecore has now Experience Page. So this is the complete Sitecore's composable portfolio. Next question you might have that, okay, understood, convinced, composable, very good, future, but what? How can I, what or why should I move to composable? What is the reason for my business or for my my future plan? Why should I do it? So the small or biggest answer, whatever you see, is a connected experience. It will give you a potential stack that enables you the connected experience. In real world application, your user will not only visit your business or your website or mobile, they may visit your definitely your store. They talk with your customer service executive. They go and use the chatbot functionality. You don't know, your website doesn't know what the user is doing with your customer executive. Your mobile doesn't know that what your user is interacting with the chatbot. All are in a silo. So in order to have a connected experience, even though if somebody is claiming that there is one software, there is no single software. Okay, that you have to craft your composable DXP based on your requirement. Maybe your composable DXP will not work with other business and vice versa. Everyone has a unique requirement. Everyone has their own set of a business goal, and that's how you can achieve by crafting your composable DXP. There are so many advantages of composable DXP, but here are some key benefits. One of them is like you have connected for 360-degree view of your customer, your user, who is interacting with multiple touch points of your business. The second one is your marketing team. They need some insights. They need some kind of enhanced dashboards and UI, okay, which can be given by the side course composable, for example, CDP component. And there are inbuilt marketing automation and the AI logic already in the system. So you do not worry about understanding the user's behavior. The system will take care of everything. So after that, the next, of course, the question comes, as I said, that I will try to cover as many questions or frequently asked questions for composable. So the next question is, are we ready for composable DXP? That means that is your current solution is ready for composable DXP? How can you assess your current solution? What are the parameters? If you want to move from your existing traditional portfolio to the composable DXP portfolio, what should you do? So the answer is composable DXP is not like a single button that you click and it will convert your complete traditional portfolio to the composable part. It requires a great planning. You have to draw with your multiple teams, the IT team, marketing team, and customer teams have to work together. You have to discuss and make your roadmap. Okay, but I will try to elaborate that how you can do the process of checking or analyzing your current solution. So there are basically three categories that today most of the brands are falling under. They are, first one is a monolithic invested, second one is a composable ready, and second one is a composable curious, third one is a composable ready. Now, what we'll do in next upcoming slide, I will try to explain what of all these categories are, and maybe you can think that under what category that your business is falling or your client's business is falling, and how can you take the approach to move them from the monolithic, which is traditional, to the composable. So the first one is a category is a monolithic investment. These organizations are heavily invested in Sideco's XP platform. They are either actively using the Sideco's XP feature or planning to use it. Okay. If you are falling under this category, the recommendation is that stick to Sideco XP since you have already invested. Okay, and you have already working solution. So just make sure that you keep upgrading your platform to have all the features that is Sideco in the Sideco's roadmap. The second category is a composable curious. These organizations have invested in Sideco XP, leveraging the Sideco XP. However, they have a heavy integration. They already started integrating with other solutions, a best-of-breed solution for other requirements. They might be using only CMS part of Sideco or a little bit some part of XP, but they are having a main integration with other vendors for personalization, for analytics, for commerce could be okay. So if you are falling under this category, the recommendation is you should adopt Sideco Excel. So just create the Sideco Excel on a sense, okay, create this as a pillar, and then layer all your business requirement by adopting the best of breed solution from SaaS environment. When I say best of breed, that means that best from the different vendors. If you think that vendor A has this solution best, just bring it and use Excel for just CMS one. If you think Sideco has a good CDP, just bring it. If you think that Sideco has a good watercraft, just bring it. If you think that no, CDP I want to use from some other vendor, bring it. And this is how you can make your composable DXP if you are falling under this category. The third category is fortunate category, who are composable ready, we can say. So these are those organizations who are only leveraging Sitecore Excel. They might have purchased XP, but they have switched off the XP features and only using the CMS part. This category can easily move to composable. They just need to move to the Sitecore XM cloud. It's very easy to move from your Sitecore current XM to the XM cloud, and then add your whatever the DXP feature that you want, either from commerce or personalization or any other, by adopting best of breed solution and craft your own composable solution. Once you identify under which category you are falling, the next step is to understand that how you can get there. So, if I have to mention, there are three major steps that you have to take to move from your current traditional monolithic or whatever you say platform to the composable, is that you have to modernize. You have to review your current tech stack. Make sure that you understand your current tech stack and try to make it modernized. Try to make it more API based. Try to make it more independent. The second one is plan to move to the SaaS-based solution, because you know SaaS is one of the best advantage which will keep you away from upgrade. Okay, you need not to worry about upgrading and planning to upgrade. There are many businesses we saw that they have fantastic business, they have fantastic applications, website, mobile, but sadly they are on the very old version of Sitecore, and when then the Sitecore version is going to expire, at that moment they make a plan for upgrade, and then the complete solution becomes very difficult and complex. So if you adopt a SaaS, this challenge will not come. And once you do the SaaS, then you can easily by adopting any SaaS-based solution, okay, which is again repeating the same story, best of breed. That means that not necessary to stick to the Sitecore's portfolio. You can adopt any good software or good DXP feature from any vendor and make your own composable DXP portfolio. As we have already seen this slide a couple of times, but I'm putting here again to just recap that you can adopt any of these Sitecore's composable portfolio to craft your own composable DXP. You can mix and match. You can take the Sitecore XM and water cloud, maybe CDP, you can take from some other vendor, or if you like CDP, just take CDP and Sitecore XM and take another. If you think that okay, any other solution is best for your business, just bring it. So the idea here is that you do not rely on single software or single stack. You can make your own composable DXP based on your business. As I keep saying that if your solution may not work for me and vice versa. So in conclusion, if I have to say, in order to move to the composable, it requires so many things. First of all, you have to adopt the composable mentality. You have to think for each and every business decision that you make, you have to think that is it aligned to my roadmap? When you take a decision to introduce a new DXP feature, make sure that it's based on SaaS. SaaS offering is there, or make sure that it's modernized, review your existing apps and tools, switch to cloud as soon as possible if you are not, because it's tough for hosting and upgrade and everything. Modernize your architecture, think about what can be automated, go headless, and choose the right app and tool, which I keep saying, the best of breed for your business. And as you know, that Sitecore has already started his roadmap. They have adopted all of this the new vision tool, which are SaaS based, and they are now offering composable portfolios. So make sure that you also align your roadmap or your client's roadmap with the Sitecore's composable DXP, because industry is changing, and at some point you have to adopt the change. That's all. Thank you very much. Shukran, Eid Mubarak. And I'm happy if you have any question or any concern or any doubt or any debate that you want to do on any of the part, because let's make this session more interactive. I hope you might have got something out of this session. Thank you very much. Any question? Thank you and have a nice evening.
Thank you, Nilesh. Thank you. So next up we have AJ and Najdi. They're gonna have a live demo, so we're gonna take a 5-minute break so they can set up.
What about the smell? All good. Look, it's done now. It's happening. You guys should come together. Otherwise, you are the end. Honestly, it's done. سلم على هدى.
لان اغلب هلا الاسفار التكنولوجيا اللي كانت بتضغط La observación más personal.
Steal so much from just.
Let's talk about
So what time?
Vi skal spise os selv. Ja. Det er mine skålkopper. Ja, ja. Og det er der snart. Like mindst 21 stykker hver. Altså, de er høje ned. Ja, det er sjovt, ja.
Hello. Attention. We're starting in 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Hi everyone. Welcome to SUGMEA. I know some people who are into specifically for that, so I call it better. Okay.
Great.
I hope you enjoy your visit here, and don't forget to visit our special trip together tomorrow. Today I'll be speaking about one of the composable products of Cycle, 5%, which is the email marketing platform. And before I do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Mohammed Al-Ghaffar. I'm a technical director at Canasa. Been working with Site for about over 4 years now. We'll join me later on stage my colleague to do the actual live demo. So today's topic is a bit technical, but again, we have the technical audience as well. Me and, like I said, my colleague will walk you through the integration of 5% with UCMS. In case this case it's site for the experience manager. But before I do, for the people who don't know what 5% is or heard of it for the first time, I'll just give a quick overview of the product. So, Cyclocin is a powerful email marketing and automation tool. It will help you set up an email campaigns with marketing automation to benefit your business. It's SaaS, it's cloud native, and it's API first. And it has a lot of smart features that could support your growth and drive results to your website. These are the main features of 5%. With it, you can send manual or create manual campaigns, automated campaigns. You can have marketing automation, where automatically you can set up actions based on user behavior on the website. You can build a product recommendation if you have a commerce website, and we all know this is an important feature. Of course, there's also e-commerce AI, artificial intelligence, with all of the product recommendation. You will have personalization. Since you're using email marketing campaign, not only that you have to send the same email to your customers, you can target individual people in their daily platform. There's some things that help you with we talked about in PSI. And it also has the behavioral analytics and tracking, where all the actions and all the user behavior is stored in 5% for you to use and benefit from. And of course, you have custom reports that you can leverage to the benefit and have like full picture of how you can be stored. We will walk through these features real quick. Marketing automation, of course, as I said, we can set up automatic campaigns that trigger off of users' actions that are timely, personalized, and highly related to your users. Automatic email campaigns with 5% is very easy to create. Maybe we can have time also to show it on the demo. It has a powerful campaign designer that you can drag it off components and create it in a designer like editor. You also can create workflows and also that targets site that require users to subscribe. You can create a workflow, and once a user subscribes to your website, it sends an email that will come to the user, and after 1 day, for example, send another email to send full instructions on how to use your product or how to use your service without interaction from your marketing team or even online tools. Product recommendations. We all know in the commerce world, product recommendation can lead shoppers to choose one product over another, which can lead to increase your order value. Of course, product recommendation can be personalized. So if you use, for example, the smart custom field of 5%, you can send product recommendation to specific users that recommends the product based on the location where the data is connected to the API. All that powered by AI that is built in 5%. This is also a one tool that allows you to create smart campaigns to even impact your customer and can tell you or convert these visitors to actual parent products only by product recommendation. And as you say, personalization component has been smart features at 5%. You can target specific user behavior. You can target them based on geographic information, based on demographic information, like single age, or even by more advanced fields like their purchase history. All that will build up your email list, your contacts back in the background, which there's a seat almost equivalent in 5% that helps you segment it with management and what you need is to have like a source of your contacts from different email marketing campaigns. And if you can create this email groups, you can also use built-in lists that will help you segment these groups. There are two extra features that help you improve, which is factor phone for phone, but this time for the video who already works in factor phone, it's part of your DXP, but now the phone is about 5%. You can create multiple phones, you can use custom templates to use that phone, you can have them inline, you can have them in follow-up, or you can have it in full with page. And also there's powerful landing pages that could drive conversion rate. Last but not least, of course, using all these features tonight, how I can measure that all these tools working or not. We have a lot of advanced tracking and reporting that can measure exactly your campaign success. Can track any total rates or history, can also track audience rates, forwards, track, and of course use reports available from download or share it to your marketing team, as well as you can build your custom reporting. That's in a nutshell about the actual product. We'll talk about today about integration. You can use it, of course, 5% until 16 complete campaigns, but it's more beneficial if you integrate it with your existing product. There is multiple ways to do the integration. The first one is by the built-in application in 5%. For example, Magento, WooCommerce, Google, we simply follow the order, create an API key or whatever instructions you use for products, and you put it together. If every product is not on this list, as we said, 5% is API first, which means every single feature existing 5% has an API that you can use to build your integration with your custom application. But today we will focus about one integration specific with integration inside the Now, eventually, this integration will come up with the projects and will be built in the application, so the 5% itself. But for now, Cycle provides like two tutorials and blueprints on how to do that in an attempt to unify this and be easier for future. So here's like the architecture of integrating Cycle with Excel. There's multiple parts to the integration. For example, if you created a Cycle perform in 5%, you need to enter it in your application. Before that, there's a snippet of JavaScript code that you need to take it and put it in your website. It's called Multi, and that will help you track the user behaviors and select the data you need for your marketing campaign. And of course, if you have like a subscription form, you need to put that as well in your website. The important thing here is that since we're talking about composable DXPs, it's a separation of concerns. Everything about forms, about email, about marketing, need to be in 5%. And then with the content of the user experience management, need to worry only about the content of the website. So in this piece of diagram, it shows you how, if you put a tracker of 5%, how similar it was to the platform. Once you user load your website, it will send the request to 5% to get back on the website page. But at the same time, the moment that script will send the tracker request to 5% again, and then 5% will send you back the website to. The second thing that you need to do is to find visitors. Any visitor, anonymous visitor to your website, 5% will collect all this information, but all will be anonymous. If you want to link this to one-key contact, that's why you use the subscribe. You can collect the email and the name of the user and send an identifier code, which is also adapted to code into contact email code to actually send this information and link it to your contact. An example of such forms that help the user registration content and looking for the website. The last thing we can do as well is if you have a subscription form, you need to enter it in the website. As I said before, the tracker will send the request, you identify the user, but in a form of submitted from the user, it also sends that identification information to 5% to register to your contact. And once you have made it a more transfer in the header for your website, this is process form is missing, you will have to code in your form that you can do in your website. Of course, as I said, the form could be an email, a pop-up, or even a forward-based thing. And now I will ask my colleague to go on the page to activate the demo and we'll see how that happens. Thank you.
So today's demo is going to get a bit technical, so I'll go through how I configure my restaurant with 5%, then go to the code, how to code the API message for the user on our site or the website, subscribe to the mailing list on 5%, then how we create that workflow that they will receive a personalized automated email once they subscribe. So first, you will need to create a specified email address. For me, I just call it automation demo. You will need the list ID, so you can send it with your API call. Also, I created some custom fields so I can personalize using those. I created channel, which for me, I try to use it to see if the user subscribe using smart cycle form on the website or from our mobile app. Also, I created entries, which is has only 3 options: set for development, or UI UX. So, and in my workflow, I use entries to personalize the email, so they will receive a personalized email based on their limits. Also created 2 segmented lists based on the entity itself, so you can target those segments in an automated campaign. For the automation part, I just created a small workflow. Really simple. When users subscribe to this list, so when users subscribe to my list, and this series, if the user is inside the development, they will receive a personalized email. They will sign for development. I use synchronistic editor, but we also can, if you have a campaign already, we can send a campaign to target that. And also same for the rest of the value for the okay. API key from your session. It's very simple. So you can subtract this. Basically, this is a submit action on the cycle forms. I just call the API. I have the API here. Here's my email address, and there's my API key. And it's basically getting the JSON from the API, from the subscription, let's say from the form itself. I just created this model where I got the field from the submitted form and just created the JSON form. Then we exclude the send, which is just a simple post. It should be and I then created the submit action sidecar, created a simple form, and what's the in my website. Right. So let's do it quick. I'm gonna have this here as an example. First of all, I'll show you my list itself. Do I have this one? As you can see, I don't have full cycle here. And let's say it's a little bit of the it's a bit of submit. Of course, except in this one, and if you see this. And I have to just give them from 2-3 minutes, so they will receive an email from me, from 5% with the in iOS. And after that, you can automate any new campaigns for survey. I didn't set up the tracking on the website. It's very good demo. But you can, as the agent said, it's just like Google Analytics or Facebook. Just add it to your website and just roll out some income script on by the user so that person can attract the user to the website. So that's the whole thing. How well we had in the last week, month, or quarter, how many people subscribe, how many unsubscribe, because we'll receive an unsubscribe button. Any questions in the room?
I feel it out. How much of this process that you just shared with us depends on developer versus marketing?
Well, you can have, instead of having us develop the form itself on Cypher, you can create your subscription form in Cypher and just integrate the new website. So it doesn't have to be site or website. You can use WordPress as your website and have submission form, the subscription form from Cypress. Also, you can have a landing page on Cypress itself.
I have a question. Does it work in different cycle versions?
Yeah, sure. The way we set it up, since we are using Stripe for Cypress API, it works with any type of website you have. It also works with mobile apps, site for 842 to have
Thank you.
I have a question. So, thank you, Steve, for the presentation. One question about the subscription from if we use that instead of cycle form, do we need to create the custom action? As we see that we saw that there is like a custom action.
Yeah, I use the custom action because I use APIs, Cypress, but you can build the Cypress here and when you embed formula to generate that HTML tag, that will be, you can embed a new website. And the marketers can update the Cypress forms from the form itself from Cypress, and it will be directly to your website.
So if we need to do subscription form, there is no need for development work.
Yes.
So the market will be there is integration.
Yes.
The only development work you have to do is the tracker. That's right. Only in this case, the only development that work is just to put them on track, just to go to the website, so you can track the users subsequently. That's it. The rest of the marketing work.
Thank you.
You mentioned that we can do this for WordPress website. Is there an existing plugin for WordPress?
Well, I don't have an example running, but since you can create a form inside for then you can embed the form that you created here on WordPress.
So I still have to embed it. It's not a straight up plugin. You can install it, set it up for the form and all.
There's integration with WordPress and there's a wizard for it. Any other questions?
Yeah, just one. Do you know when or maybe someone from Cycle can answer that, do you know when Cycle Order Cloud will be one of the integrations available again?
I guess that's a question.
Okay, we'll let that
Do you have
Cycle
one
answer.
answer? That's the site quality question. Can you repeat that, Michael?
Yes, just about, I know it's in the roadmap to integrate all of the composable parts so that they can rather than development, but I don't know if it's roadmap, you know when it's.
So it's always a great question when things come, but since I'm not the one developing it, it's quite hard to answer. But basically, the journey we are on right now is we integrating these 4 different companies that Cycle purchased last year. We are on the journey. The first steps you will see in a couple of weeks. Cycle portal will get together. We will be able to initiate the different environments you have for Cycle, Saxon Cloud, or Cycle 7, personalizing everything. So it started, the journey is already started. We are in the integration process. I would say that when everything is getting together, it will take, and I'm not the sales guy, so but in a year, everything will be completely integrated. One interface, one UI, and so on. You will see the progress in the way because as this is sounds for us, it's much easier to do the integrations in the background and certain software we install. So you will see the first signs in a couple of weeks. After that, gradually we will add more new services and consider integrating and setting this.
Any
Any other question? Thank you, everyone.
So guys, just to offset a little bit of the schedule that got slightly delayed in the beginning, we are going to squeeze in one more session before the lunch break. So I hope that's okay with everybody. So the setup.
Yeah, me too. How do you feel about them? Them? Not that crazy. Can I invite the MVPs who are meant to be part of our panel discussion up to the stage, please? That's it. Yeah, no, it's a job. It's a nice generation.
Is this working? Right? Is it on? It's off.
I think we're missing the speaker.
Oh, we need another one?
Okay. All right. Cool. So, hello again, back on stage with the big screen. So I guess we need the lunch like that, thank you. Like the real world, whenever we're about to launch a website or release a product, we're about to have a very nice surprise. So, consistent, let's say that. Welcome to all the MVPs who are joining us today. I'll be moderating this session, so I'll be taking questions from you guys. I'd really like to primarily be the person to pass you the mic. I don't want to take over the question and answer session. We have super talented people on stage, so let's challenge them and put them on the spot and make their life very difficult. That said, I think I'd like to ask for you guys to just do a very quick introduction of who you are and where you're visiting from and what you do, so that we can start, and then I can introduce what this whole session is about.
Hello, my name is Mohammed Al-Jaffar. I'm a technical director at the Nasser Technology. I'm based here, so I've been working with Flatcore and the Nasser for 4 years now.
Everyone, this is working from Horizon 2. It's been 24 years with Horizon 2. IT experience is 16 years. I've been working with Cyber for the past 6 to 7 years.
Hello everyone, I'm Mustafa Nafi. I'm a program manager with Composable. I oversee the product implementations that we have. I've been in the software space for the past 6 years now, and I'm based in Egypt.
My name is Dua Abdelhamid. I'm a senior software consultant at Switch, which is Australian Platinum partner for software. So I'm working remotely from Jordan.
So, just to contextualize what this session is about, as we mentioned in the beginning, Sitecore went through quite the journey over the last couple of years, especially during the COVID era. I think it was I wonder if it was even planned, that's how timely it was. That journey changed the entire proposition of how the solution works and how we can consume it as businesses, as users, as individuals, as developers. I think even though the announcement was made and the acquisitions were made, and we have now this whole suite of products like Sitecore Send and CDP and Order Cloud and all of them, we still are in the journey of transitioning from the monolithic to the composable, right? I'm pretty sure that the majority of people here are still working on Sitecore XP primarily. I know that my customers in Jordan are still using XP. And I know that the transition isn't necessarily the easiest. Change requires a lot of flexibility, change in mindset, also a different form of investment, bringing in different types of stakeholders. So I think a lot of developers and users and marketers who have been used to using the one-stop shop solution, the one package that encompasses everything that the company needs more or less, is now wondering, okay, how do I move into this new SaaS world, right? Where do I even start? And this is why we really highlighted this. I want a disclaimer that nobody really has 100% the right or wrong answer. There is no right or wrong answer. But I think this group of people will probably have the closest hunch as to some of the things we can ask ourselves as we prepare to embark on this journey towards Composable DXP. And with that, I can kick off with a question, but I do want everybody to please just raise your hand and ask. This is the panel discussion that will cover really anything we talked about before and anything we're going to talk about after. So there is no silly question, there is no irrelevant question. And with that, I'll ask the obvious question in the agenda. If I'm somebody who's on XP and I want to move to this composable world, where do I even start?
To start the conversation. So, there is a lot of people depend on this question. If I'm asking from someone who is developer, the answer will be different than the marketer or the decision maker. So I will be focusing now on the development journey and maybe how, as developers or people working with current monolithic site work, how we move to the composable world with a lot of changes or choices. As you see, if you have a look, I think I will be focusing on 3 points that should be the developers care about. The first one is choices. I believe that with a lot of products now and a lot of technology related to these products, we should be focusing on what is the actual technology that we want to focus on. Because nobody will be focusing on all things. So you will just see how the market will be focusing. For example, if you see focusing on top, you will be focused on the technology related to that and make the shift to that technology. And I believe there is a lot of things that depend on what you choice depend on. First of all, the documentation for that technology. The other one is the community support for that technology. I believe this is very important, especially that this is something really new and you have to find a way to it. The second part, which I find very useful, is the integration. You know that we have a lot of systems built on different way of like front end, back end. So I believe that the developer will be focusing on how we integrate between these different systems. And the third thing that I feel that is very important is the deployment orchestration. When you have a different platform, different composable product, deployment could be very hard in this area, but focusing on how set up the continuous build and deployment and have that experience in different platforms, that will be very useful for the developer. So I think there is 3 points that I will be focused on. First of them is like choice, make your choice, get deep on that knowledge. The other one is the API integration between different solution and platforms. The second and third one is the deployment orchestration.
Right, so in my opinion, the starting point would be to start with why. So this field is changing and it's growing, and without having crystal clear objectives and value proposition, it's really hard to justify to the upper management of any brand moving to Composable, right? So, and in order to reach your why, I believe that companies should invest in a discovery phase where they really figure out what works best for them. It's not about what works best for the industry or the best tools out there. What works for one brand might be different to other brands, right? So figuring out really what is the best combination of tools and technologies. And it doesn't have to be like a complete shift from monolithic to composable developments. The good thing about composable is it allows for this agile way of working. So you can have one tool and then test it in the market and then move to another. Right? So investing in this discovery phase or approach really helps so that companies can understand the value before they actually start making changes.
So why not so it's all depending that how much interaction data you have at CV. So if there is a huge amount of data you already have in at CV, then you probably need to decide whether you want to migrate the data from the CV to the existing. Answer of this question is if you want to migrate the data, you are not very much interested in the data, because you want the migration complexity and in the same way, you get the family process introducing composable. I think the second part of it is what kind of customization we want to create on this thing. If we have a very huge customization on next thing, then probably same kind of customization we want to have in simplicity. But the best part of simplicity or simple customization is putting that in management, kickoff itself, and you just expose your events to cybersecurity or customize the very customized experience. So that is about cybersecurity and customers. Let's move on to the commerce part. If your site is not already having a commerce part, then you will be comprehensive to introduce non-e-commerce into your application with Cycle is API-based solution, and it is, I think, it is very, very mature product. On the commerce side, cycle commerce was mature enough. It was very complex. This cycle, the API-first approach will give you many benefits to bring loosely coupled design into your application. So this will help us to define value workload is required for your system. So probably these are the equations that we need to cover. And in cybersecurity, we have the expert.
Okay. Well, I think you all covered very important notes, and I'll give it this stuff on the line. Because the whole composable DXP might be fit for you, which is okay. The easier the migration, I think, for people who have only consent or experience manager and would like to use new features like personalization or marketing automation. Of course, I would not recommend to upgrade the speed. You will benefit from having consent that we have everything already and migrate integrated with different composable products we have them. You already have SUGMEA, the same goes I think said here. Giving my integrated one by one, personalized to be 5%. You might have different products, and don't have to be all cycle. If you already have analytics in the other product, you can integrate it as that essence of composable DXP, that you can have multiple windows products in the solution.
Thanks, guys. Does anybody have any questions from the crowd? All right. I guess I'd like to ask if I was a customer who's not on site at all, I'm outside of the site world and I'm thinking about site more. Like this gentleman in the blue shirt in the back, he's on WordPress, and he's interested in what Composable has got. Right? what do you think would be the typical onboarding route in terms of the most basic product path if they were to adopt something? And of course, it's going to depend on the need. So I think Site for example, is a very easy one to adopt. If somebody's happy with WordPress and they don't want to go further than that. But, would we also kind of recommend that somebody would start off with XM and then personalize, et cetera? Do we have any, or have you had any use cases that you can share, or relevant case scenarios for people outside of the site for XP?
Well, I think in most of the DXP work, we have to think differently. In the traditional DXP, you always have centerpiece, which is your CMS, and you build other applications around, like maybe DXP or have other applications. But in most of DXP, CMS is not the central point anymore. You can have all the pieces you want, whether it's WordPress or Tracker or any other technology, and you build on it. So, of course, as Constance mentioned, there's maybe DXP that's mean better, which is content marketing, stuff like that. So, whatever component you feel is fit for your business, you can use it. You don't have to use all the components from one direction. So, you can start with whatever you need. The first thing you need is the CMS. You will figure which component and stuff, right? Then you will check the integration possibilities with other applications as well. Of course, all the most of the components has to be backed, which has to be headless, API first, true component that I can use in its own, so I can integrate it easily with the application.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Please.
Okay. When I'm using a WordPress solution, I most likely have an existing CMS. Probably if I have an e-commerce website, it would be WooCommerce, for example. So any part of WordPress is already using existing solutions for automated emails, for example, like what you're offering in Send, or e-commerce solutions, etc. Where would I need to use any part of site code? I'm pretty sure after what I've seen so far, they offer way better solutions than what I have on my current website. I agree with you, but I need to migrate from all of my solutions to site code, one step by step, right? So my question really is, which parts do I start with, and how easy can I start migrating using a WordPress website?
About migration, whether we're talking about Composable DXPs, there's been a lot of migration projects from different CMSs to site. So I would recommend to start with the CMS first. So it's already come from the central information there. And WordPress already provides an API that you can deliver, and also in Cypher as well have three different composable product that have also an API. So you can create your own scripts to migrate this content and fully move the other applications, whether it's marketing information or email campaigns or forms. I know there's a lot of plugins that do submit forms or forms in WordPress. So you can do the content first and follow the rest of the components. That's of course.
So CMS first, and then start integrating the rest.
Yes.
That's what I understood.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That's how the conditions work.
So, even with this, you are still wants to continue with your existing all other components are API. So, everything is API. It doesn't require you to shift your technology one source to destination. You can still leverage the APIs of these components. If you want to leverage the marketing automation or your WordPress solution to cycles, and you can still do it. If you want to personalize your content without touching anything on your side, you can still do it with cycles. And everything is being achieved through just API integration. If you are able to integrate your APIs, all these components API in your system, you have a few things you can control all components, or you can choose which component you want to create.
So just a quick note to add on the migration piece of this. So I would recommend to start with the most painful part of your digital journey, and this would help to make this move actually valid. Right? So think of what's causing you issues. Is it the personalization? Is it the emails? Is it the CMS itself? Right? So there will be different things. So start with the thing that you can actually justify to the management and have better return on investment, so that once you have this piece finished, you can actually get more investments to move to the next piece.
I think also like one of the most important things that in the monolithic cycle you will have to buy like 100 of like 4% of the XP, and maybe you can use only like 5% of the product, which is this issue is resolved and composable. So you have only to buy the part of the solution that you actually need. So we have a lot of experience that we have like phase 1, phase 2. Like phase 1 build the content management, phase 2 build the personalization. In this case, if we build that and composable, we didn't have to buy like the CDP, cycle CDP before you actually use it phase 1. So this will be very helpful for the management to reduce the cost, and this is very important for them. So in the old cycle or the monolithic one, you have to buy it, and then you have to use this part of the different one. So most of the client is not actually from the phase 1 use that or the cycle, although it's there and they pay it. So that would be also a very important for the decision maker, and this is a good reducing the cost for them. So I think that's really good.
So just a comment on everything you guys said. It's very clear that Composable gives us flexibility. It could potentially save some costs on budget, and could be faster to adopt and use. It can't be perfect, obviously. Right? And one thing I wonder is, even though the one-stop shop may have been more of a, which is the monolithic, that's what we keep talking about, which is the one product that has everything in it. Even though it may have taken a bit longer to adopt and requires more of a complete kind of business revamp, technically speaking, it can be costlier because you spend on the full solution, even though you're using parts of it in the beginning until you kind of become more niche to mature over time. There was a benefit in having something consolidated in one place, right? Made by the same kind of product owners, made by the same technical team, etc. So it does make me wonder that with this kind of Tetris approach, take the component you need, can we also worry, or should we be a little bit worried about fragmentation? Fragmentation not just in the technical solution, but also maybe in the users of it. So what does this mean for different technical team members? Are they going to be able to sync up their skill sets to have the solutions speak together well? Will the end user feel the fragmentation from one solution to the next in their kind of user experience? And just in general, how do we feel about the risk of a fragmented solution rather than a nicely put together?
I think that's a very good question, and I have a lot of conversation with different technical people from different backgrounds that, okay, this shift could be very hard for us. We move from like development background, solution built on .NET, we have a lot of experience there. How do we manage our, or like, getting the knowledge to work with these different components? I think the first thing that I mentioned that choices, you have to actually, as Mustafa mentioned, study the market and see what is your potential or where the technical part that you have to upscale your team based on. So I think the good part, if you think about, I think I will mention more a lot, but I want to explain about how this architecture. So any of these part of the solution is used more. What is more is microservices, API, cloud, and headers. So think about it that all of these components, for example, if we see CDB or SIM, when we talk like API first, that means that everything that you can see in UI, that's also available through APIs. So if you think about it, that you create different solutions, and these different solutions built on the same structure. So if you are familiar with this structure, it will be much easier for you to create it between these different solutions. And you will not care a lot about the background of the solution, and the solution may be based on Vue, React, Jamstack, everything, but you will be caring about that this will be, there is an API for us to integrate, and everything that I see in the UI, there is like an API to get this data. So building on this architecture that for all of these products, that's very helpful for developers. So I think that's very important.
Okay, so there is definitely downsides to this, right? One of the main issues or risks we've been facing is when you deal with different tools or technologies, you have to deal with different teams, different companies, right? And each of them have policies, they have the way of doing things, right? So instead of now working with one vendor, now suddenly you will have 6 or 7 different vendors. So this is definitely a risk, and one of the major impacts that we try to avoid from this risk is actually affecting, as Shaq said, the user journey. Right? So it's very important that the user journey stays consistent, no matter the backend how many users you have. So users should not feel that there is a drop in the journey, especially if they are used to doing things a certain way. So one way to de-risk that is to really work with all of these vendors, thinking of one unified journey so that they can be working towards the same goals instead of each of them having different outcomes for the platforms. So making sure that the journey is very clear, it's unified, and then all of these tools are working towards that journey. So in the back end, you will be dealing with all of the headache of organizing everyone, but from the front end, the customer should not be feeling that.
Yeah, I think that's why the strong architecture is must go. When we have multiple integration touch points, consuming those APIs might be easy, different media have different integration, different model, but if underneath architecture of the application is strong enough to integrate any new system into the system with equal quality that we can have for the end user, then I will think this is the main important part where the base architecture of the applications should be strong enough to capable implementing or integrating all these components into one single application.
Further changes on the actual team of your brand. It's more like one launchpad that I can see all applications, marketing, content, etc. But that doesn't have to be a bad thing because now other teams doesn't have to compromise and use whatever happens in this one application. If they're happy with the marketing project, if it's not 5% or whatever, they will have to use it. But if one of these teams use multiple applications, that might
require multiple other portals to use it. In the technical team, yeah, the whole perspective should be changed in an architecting application because they know that thinking of one provider with one API, you have to think how I need to integrate all these parts together, how I need to host my custom application, my custom API, because not the community is different providers. Some of them have it, some of them have AWS. Maybe also the region is different, so you need to count for latencies. So I think the fragmentation is affecting more on the technical part of the application.
Murad here, consultant with various domains, cycle. So my question is, have any of you worked on currently, migrating a monolithic DXP to composable, like a real world solution that's currently live? The thing is that I want to ask, what are the type of pitfalls that you guys might have fell into? It's like, we're not an agency. At Braze, we're a client. So if you're thinking about migrating, moving to something composable, does it make sense when you think about it? It makes a lot of sense. We don't use all the features of XP. We pay a lot of money for it, but we don't really get to use that much. So for the most pitfalls in migrating, moving to the cloud, or where exactly was the pain in these live solutions? So we don't fall into them.
So we had, we started analyzing content from, and I would probably say that we have already delivered 2 projects on content, which is a part of that composable release. Our main matter application was not on-site, but we were able to integrate content into a non-site application. It was very easy. It was really easy from that point of view, where the digital assets and these things are very good and we were able to attach all those digital assets into the non-site application. The integration was very easy, but I think when we are having interaction data, as I already mentioned, we are already having a historical data into the system and migrating those historical data into composable DXP architecture way. If we are building these cybersecurity, then that migration needs to be migrated again into the cybersecurity to apply the customization on top of it. And that is why I said that to determine the whether we need to go cybersecurity or cyber-customize, that decision needs to be made first. If you want to migrate the data, you have to have cybersecurity. You cannot simply go and choose cyber-customize. Because cyber-customize will not allow you to migrate your data in offline way or in batch processing way to do cybersecurity. So those decisions need to be made first, and then the complexity also need to be considered first. What kind of customization you have in your cyber application, and accordingly we can opt for these projects. So Fundamental was very easy. Cybersecurity we have a very clear picture that we will not require, and cyber customized business. That was just simple case.
So for us, we have been working for the past year and a half on the migration to Jamstack and Composable. I would say from a management perspective, there would be 2 main things to keep an eye on. One is change management. So there is going to be lots of different companies working on this. And we have a way of doing things on the marketing, technical, on the management side, and there will have to be changes. Right? So managing the change is something that we found clients struggling with. So it is something that will require lots of time and effort to make sure that people are on the same page and that the change you're bringing will actually bring value to all of these different departments. You will find, as I mentioned, technical team will take a look at what we have to do it this way, right? So the change management aspect is going to be critical. The second part is the project planning. So we will need to be patient with the agency over there because there's lots of uncertainty that's happening in the field right now. And giving proper budgets and timelines is going to be good. This move definitely helps with cost saving, with revenue from the first 3 months when we started on that implementation. We have saved lots of money. However, to give proper estimation on what it's spent and the timeline for such implementation is something that I don't think any agency can really be solid right now. So from a time perspective, this flexibility will always be needed. So if you are shifting the mindset of the waterfall, when things become more agile and learning as you go. So the learning is going to be from the agency side and from the client side.
I have one example of one of our clients that they want to move towards the world, but they want to take like step by step. So we have a plan with like a review plan. So one of the recommendations for cycle is moving to the cycle version. So please make sure to update to the latest version of cycle. The other part is if you have, for example, like this one, they have like using like new personalization, they want to add like a new feature. So you can do that on CDP and integrate that with the current cycle. So once we shift to the board and make the validation much easier, rather than we started over with the actual cycle personalization and then we have to make so we try to get them to check or use the product that they actually use, and then we have also a recommendation to start using cycle setting. So this is also step by step because we see this is a long way back. So some of the organizations take step by step. So I look at this
I can add a little bit of business perspective on this. It's very different based on the as well. So outside of change management is crucial. I believe it's all about setting the right expectation for the team, right? That there's a time that's going to be spent on the financial. You're not going to the ROI like yesterday. That's not how it works. But this is something we need to see. I think one sensitive topic that we have in the region that's a bit different in the US, which might not have the case, is going back within the SaaS. Right? That's a whole different conversation. Because all the way from how the endpoint feels about this structurally to how they can factor in the budget, how predictable is the cost, will change over time. And then, of course, for super sensitive accounts like governments, banks, hospitals, which are typical enterprise level accounts inside the world, become very kind of data conscious, right? Yeah, so then it's very, so generally speaking, I think this is the first hurdle to overcome because there's no way around this. There's no work around the fact that it's SaaS, right? So I think that conversation needs to be had quite early on, before going into all the other details. Are we comfortable making this move? What kind of assurances can we provide you as an agency that works on site for to kind of comfort you as a customer who's thinking about SaaS? And so I think that one in itself is a conversation started. Yeah. Darmish has a question.
Just two short questions. What do you think
is, in your opinion, if anything, is missing from Cycle's composable stack? And secondly, what is your favorite part of that composable stack and why?
I will start with the favorite part is like actually cybersecurity. I'm actually having I'm impressed with the level of training and support that Cyber provided. If you know that if you are partner for Cyber, there is like a 5-day sessions. There is a lot of like 4-day schedule, and this will be very helpful for anybody like they want to learn what is CE. What about that Cyber also provided live person to go up with you, have a lab, and actually every day, and that we, so this is what that we, you will add you to the Slack channel, and you will have the chance to actually apply all the demo or the process that they give you, and they, this is also space to ask the question. And I think Cyber Cycle is going to be great regarding the learning and also to be on that last night and give you like a feedback. So I think this is my favorite part because I see a lot of support, a lot of documentation, also the community, how when you post any question in that channel, it's like they will be quick response. And you feel that okay, there is something here or there, they take good feedback and give back to you. So that was great.
For the recent question, luckily, as Thomas mentioned, it is something we've been looking for, is having this unified view of all the features. So this one dashboard, this is one thing that the marketing team always asks when we tell them we move to 5 different tools. They miss this monolithic view of everything that's going on. So hopefully we have this soon where you can track and see everything that's happening in the platform, even though it's coming from the
On my side, I think safety was not a bit of I keep my mind and I will want to continue. Why? Because commitment is not a very small project. It is having a particular happening when we want them, we have seen, we have project management as well. So those components are really really nice to have, and that was actually much improved product from cycle point of view. Every bit product have its own brand. Cycle was not having. We made one cycle at one side, and that was the major change and first change that cycle jumped on the completely. So in that way, I think that was the huge missing part that cycle advice and is now a very good addition to the second thing is, I think I have already taken the first point, which one is your and why. What was the second? What's missing? Yeah. So from my point of view, I think flexible reporting is ideally must have capital collective use and code, which is missing one. If you want to build a new fancy deeper dive kind of report, then a whole monitor is not needed. Currently, we have that cycle analytics or cycle analytics dashboard, but what I feel is it is not that much flexible where we can add multiple reports and we can add filters on top of it. So I would see that this one is being a nice to have feature where user can drill down into the reports, into the required data, and business can make a decision out of that data. So drilling down to the that level of report, I think that would be nice.
I think such good products about that are basically a couple of main projects depending on who you see. I was still making it in cloud, and as you see, it's very dangerous with that. That's what about the cloud. I read it. No, to be honest, I haven't disclosed all of the money. So far 5% for, but hopefully maybe later this year when we have it in the cloud, we can evaluate it.
I think it is trying to know is the side person there. So I'll actually have a completely different answer. It's CRM. It's a conversation that we have with most clients. You know, it's one of the first questions a lot of people ask. Do you offer CRM? So interestingly enough, I thought that Sitecore might go into an acquisition for CRM, but it doesn't look like it's on the roadmap. On the flip side, they do, work quite well with Salesforce and we've done a bunch of Microsoft Dynamics, so there's a very good alternative. But I think that's one thing that I usually have to justify when I'm speaking to clients is, okay, so do you guys have CRM? No, Sitecore doesn't have CRM. Why? So then we bring in Microsoft Dynamics, we talk about Salesforce. Then that one would have completed the full journey for all the departments on the side. All right, how are we doing on time? Samir, are we good to wrap up? 5 minutes. About 5 minutes. Anybody with any questions? Can somebody give me the mic, please?
I actually have a couple of questions. The first one is you mentioned something about the good and this, and I was wondering if there's a piece of services architecture. If this is where we're going, and this is the services, microservices architecture.
You know that we want we have integrated deployment, some that we want to use AWS, other want to use AWS. I think Sitecore now partner with Diesel, so we expected a whole support for that. But with deployment, it would be like a continuous integration and development each one. So it would be available to integrate with all of these type, like depending on the AWS. Also, it will be like there is a partnership from the Sitecore with Diesel. Hopefully that will be, I think it's already done. We can double check with Sitecore, but I think the partnership is ready to go and go.
And my second question is about local. This is obviously a bit local. This is obviously a big startup industry now. And I was wondering where Sitecore falls on that spectrum, especially now with this physical architecture. Some tools might be more geared towards tiers versus more development heavy, and where the trade-off lies, right? Because now when you want to implement a Sitecore solution for implementation, we're looking for specific expertise in development, right? Like we're looking for document developers that can be moved to the Sitecore developers. But with this, I think the work is moving towards more of an SCNC type of implementation, where you can have multiple tools, right, within your staff that basically integrate with one another, but it's more targeted towards marketing, where you don't really need that. Because currently, with Sitecore, you're investing in the implementation costs just as much as you are in the licensing. So where is the trade-off and where is the Sitecore? These different components are in the that's the perspective.
I can give you like a like from my experience with CPD, the actual integration is very simple. So most of the work is done by the market. But so they try to make this effort on the developer, and we will be focusing on the integration part. But most of the work is actually enough. So for the developer, you still need to integrate, but not to actually all the document that you want to build something from scratch. So because the work is more done, if you look at if you company can write a code the developer. So also this is like a headache for the developer. It could be like, okay, there's this for us now. So what should we do? So
I think not even to it's interesting that you say that because obviously that's been the shift that's communicated for a while. And maybe a couple of years ago, our HR department and our recruiters noticed that there was a lot more kind of demand on front-end developers and back-end developers. And I know a lot of back-end developers started to get worried about their jobs. And, am I going to be outdated? Is this solution going to replace me? A lot, also on the marketing side, because once you set it up, a lot of this marketing is kind of automated as well. So am I still going to be able to? Is a broad question across all industries with tech kind of getting better and better at taking over human jobs, really. That said, we didn't see that drop off over the last couple of years. I think it was more talked about than actually tangibly felt. And the reason is, I think, even though, yes, there's kind of low code